today's topic is your questions. Thank you. I want to show you negative harmony. So I made a video on negative harmony, and I have to admit I myself had to watch some videos because my background with what's called also mirror harmony comes from a harmony book, 20th century harmony of the 20th century harmony by Persichetti. Used to be a Harvard professor, a Juilliard professor, and he's showing a lot of options of mirror harmony, and a lot of the results sound pretty dissonant. Now, I think a lot of people introduction to mirror harmony came from Jacob Collier's videos about negative harmony, and the way he used it. Well, if you listen to some of the progressions he's playing using mirror harmony, it sounds like a progression in C major or C minor. It sounds like a modal mixture progression that involves C major and maybe E flat and then E minor and then to G. It's like a progression in C major and C minor. So I had to look it up, and then I heard of the CG axis. And CG axis it didn't sound simple enough for me, so I had to dig deeper. And what it says is if your starting point is here, and you move major third to this direction, and from this direction you move another major third. Major third will get you to E flat. Okay, so far it doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you do another minor third, you're getting C major, another minor third, C minor. Okay, that means that if this is your starting point, the mirror of C major is going to be C minor. Okay, anyways, so what this means, we can keep going with a C major, like move to D minor, okay? And see what happens, because we're moving by a whole tone, minor third first. Let's do that. So here we're gonna move down by a whole tone. That's F, minor third, that's D. Cool. Another major third, because we have D minor, and major third here is gonna be B flat. So far the mirror of C major is C minor, and the mirror of D minor is B flat. Let's keep going. So we're going to just try to go like that to see what is the mirror of the scale degrees of C major. Let's see. So C major mirror is C minor, D minor, B flat major. Okay, E minor. So we have minor third. Okay, so we're here. We had to go by a whole tone, so we're gonna go by a whole tone here, and we have a minor third. Let's do minor third and a major third. Oh, So the mirror of E minor is A flat major. Keep going. F major. So we had to go to F major, we had to go by a semitone. So we're going to go by a semitone here too. Semitone. And then we have major third. Let's go major third, minor third, minor third. So the mirror of F is G minor. Okay. G major. So we went up by a whole tone, another whole tone here, and then major third, minor third, minor third. So the mirror of G major is F minor. A minor, so we had to go by whole tone, minor third, and major third. E flat major, and then finally diminished, and okay. So the way Jacob Collier used it was he tried to make a, we're not going to call it modal mixture, mirror mixture progression. Take some chords from this side of the mirror, mix them with this side, and see if we get some new ideas. So I tried my luck also with that. So if I'm doing C major, the mirror of this is C minor to A flat. So how about if we tried, what did I do? Okay, I did. From this side of the mirror, I went from 1 to 6 to, I did 1, 6, 3, 5. And so I went like that. C major, A minor, E minor to G minor. Now let's see the mirror of this. It's going to be C minor. The mirror of A minor is E flat. The mirror of E minor is A flat. So again, the mirror is this is the mirror of. So let's do a progression from this side. It's going to be C major, A minor, E minor to G. Now let's do the mirror. It's going to be actually F minor. So again. Now we can do a mixture. Let's try with doing 2 chords from the mirror and 2 chords from this side. Now when I played this, I said to myself, so I thought it was just a game, and for the longest time I didn't really wanted to get into mirror harmony or negative harmony because it sounded too technical or too geeky for me. But then, when I started playing with this, I say, well, this sounds like Brahms. I would never come up with this E flat to E minor. Of course, to make it sound interesting, I didn't go from E flat to E minor this way. I had to make it more musical, and to G and to C. Okay, so to sum it up, this is our starting point. We're moving a whole tone here, a whole tone down, whole tone up, another whole tone up, down by a whole tone to this side. So if we do that with chords, C major, the mirror is major third, minor third. That's the mirror. And then we keep going. We're moving up here, we're moving down in the mirror side. And then G minor. So I think what Jacob Collier did with that, the progression he went with, the first one, was to replace the G7. Remember, the mirror of G is F, F minor. So instead of doing 5 to 1, G7 to C, he did F minor to C, or F minor to C minor. What I did, I tried to also play with other scale degrees, not just with the 5. So again, the first, from this side of the mirror, it was 1, 6, 3, 5. From this side of the mirror, we're moving up. And when you're mixing the two, say, how about if you go the first two with a mirror, and then the last two from this side, so you get yeah. Now the last thing I did, I say, well, talking about this axis, how about if I did it easier, at least for myself? Let's move another semitone and another one. And I said, okay, so you know what? Forget about it. I don't want to confuse you. That's it. Okay, that's my thing about negative harmony. The thing is, it's not a winning theory. It's not going to replace the other stuff that we know and like. But if we can take one chord or learn a certain progression, why not? Okay. Seems to be similar to descending overtone series. Yeah, maybe. How do you see string again? Or 3-in-1 way of playing. Are there any significant chords which can't be? Yes, like let's do a progression where we do. I'll give an introduction. I said in one of my videos that the standard way of playing chords on piano is, we call it even keyboard style. It has a term. Is playing 3 notes with the right hand and 1 note with the bass. When you study harmony, classical harmony, this is what they teach you: 3 + 1. Unless if you're doing, you're writing for choir, and then you're doing, it's like 2 + 2. It's bass, tenor, soprano, and alto. Okay, but we'll go with a keyboard style, which is for keyboard players. So 3 here and one bass note here. So you can do a lot with 3 + 1. You can play 13 chords. You don't need more than 4 notes. And you can play flat 13, and you can play C6-9. And if you use sounds of strings, you know, you have the string quartet. 4 notes. Three notes. Three notes. We'll get to 5 in a second. 3 notes. Okay, but 5 notes. If you want to use the 6th chord, here's a progression where you need 5 notes. So C6, when you play the C6 chord, you want to hear the 5 next to the 6, or at least to have them here. It's very Paul McCartney, right? Also some Radiohead. So you want to have the both of them together, and then let's go to D minor 9. So the voice leading. And then let's go to the 5. These 2 notes move down by a semitone. So this is G7, 13, flat 9. Let's go back to C6. Let's do that again. Do that in D major. This is really nice, right? Okay, so in this progression, when you're using the 6, this is an example where you're going to use 5 notes. How do you compose a modern ostinato? Wait, let's see. Before that, how do you compose a modern? I'm not really an ostinato composer, really. I remember I grew up. I listened to a lot of Chick Corea. By the way, a tip for practicing this, when you slow it down, it's easier. I mean, it's always easier when you slow things down, but especially with hand independence. I'm not a fantastic ostinato player, by all means. How do I compose an ostinato? Let's see. One way would be to know the key I am, to be aware of the key I'm in. So let's write B flat major. Great, Evan. Okay, so in B flat major, let's make it interesting. Instead of doing, using thirds, it's major 7 or 6, Let's do 4-ish thing. Now the thing is, you can even record this on a DAW, like on Logic or Ableton, and you can add notes. As long as you're in B flat major, it's never gonna sound terrible. So you just experiment with that. Let's do 1, 4. Let's add 5 here. We don't have the 6. That's the 6. That's a 7. Let's see. And now on top of this, I wish I had another set of hand. On this, on top of that, you can play it. Let's simplify it. And you can do even more. You could go. You can go with intervals as long. You know, all these videos when you see this. I'm just gonna improvise something. All I'm doing, I'm choosing some notes. I'm trying not to play them too close to have these clusters, but you know, to space them out in a nice way, and you know, and to just repeat that and try other options. And also a nice modulation. Once you could go a minor third up. It's always nice. Always a nice modulation. Who knows why, by the way? Let me get a sip of water. Yeah. Anyone knows why? How about 2 chords of ostinato? Yeah, you could do 2 chords of ostinato, of course. Well, the reason this minor third up modulation sound or transposition sound nice, because when you're moving from B flat major, that's a professional secret, by the way. B flat major to D flat. D flat is the relative major of B flat minor. So when you're moving from B flat to D flat, in a way, it's like moving from B flat major to B flat minor. You're moving to the world of B flat minor, except you're not playing B flat minor, you play its 3rd degree, but you still have the D flat and the F and the 7 of the B flat minor. So now let's try playing it. Now I play the B flat so you can hear the minor. All right. Yeah. Andrea, about you seeing people mirroring entire songs. Yeah. But the thing is, some of the results are going to be interesting and some of the results are not going to be so interesting. So you just have to try. And then you find something that you like, and then, like I did, I like this, you know. And you find something you like, and you write it down and you practice it, and then it becomes part of your vocabulary. Yeah, for sure. This is one of the things that Bach used to do when he wrote the Goldberg variations. Uh, uh, that's just an improvisation. But more or less, what he did was, years later, I'm not sure exactly when, but he took just the bass of this initial melody, just the bass, and he started playing, writing all kinds of canons and mirror harmony and mirror counterpoint and a lot of crazy stuff. I think it was a series of like 14 miniature compositions that it was a study. And you know, it's like us trying stuff with mirror like with negative harmony. Same thing, same mentality. I don't think Mozart was so much into that. Mozart was extremely developed harmonically, even though he didn't show it the way Bach did. He was never into taking a fugue and then writing 19 variations. He was just not the guy. He was not interested. Instead, he preferred writing another string quartet, or another concerto, or another symphony, or another opera. You know, Mozart finished the Magic Flute, a three-hour opera, in 18 days. So what my point here is, you have different types of composers. Also in jazz, you have Chick Corea, who's into composition, and then Keith Jarrett takes a turn towards mostly improvising on stage. And even though he composed a lot of fantastic music during the 70s, from the 80s on, he's almost not composing. Different type of personality. Okay, you have Herbie Hancock, who's been playing the same music for the last 50 years, the same. And we want to hear that. I'm willing to hear it like 1,000 times, because every time he's playing it, it's like it's a different journey, you know. Montenegro. What are some of the things that you implement in your playing and composing when you want to sound, and when I want to sound more gospel? See, I never really want to sound like anything, but my music does remind people of other composers. It does. So I'm not saying that my music always sounds. I can play you some my music, but if I had to sound gospel or jazz, I would use music that's already in my musical bank account, so I can draw from music that got there in the first place because I learned this music. I years ago I got interested in I don't know. can see I'm not I'm not a gospel pianist, but I did like this song, and for me also this type of motion is D7 over A, passing chord, moving to G minor. I know this type of progression from classical harmony. Okay, I know, for example, Bach. Basically, so if I want to sound like something, the secret is to learn a few songs like this one. And we do that with jazz. I did do that with jazz a lot. I transcribed solos, not because I wanted to sound like Chick Corea. I couldn't even if I wanted, but because you want to learn from the masters. It's like same as studying. You study classical harmony, you transcribe music, you learn songs by Billy Joel, you learn songs by the Beatles, and little by little you got a little bit more in your bank account. So when you want to write something, you have where to withdraw from. So always invest in your bank account. Deposit. Learn music. Always work on something. Okay. Right now I'm working on a Bach fugue for the last, I don't know, like 2 years. It's very hard. Yeah, still need to practice. It's hard, but I don't mind because I know that whatever the time I'm spending learning this fugue is going to give me more control when I'm playing something else. So I don't mind. I'm not preparing it for a specific concert, but I always have something I'm working on. So do that. England. Oh, you just won the football game, didn't you? That's why you're showing up late. Okay. I got any advice for Phrygian chord progression? Yeah, why not? So Phrygian, okay. Let's play. The what's the name? Candy shop, candy store. What's the name? This is a Phrygian song. So we have the semitone here. What we can do instead of playing, so we have the progression. Well, we could go this way. By the way, when you use a mode, you want to, as soon as possible, use it, usually to let the audience know that you're in Phrygian. So you're going to play around this area because this area of the Phrygian mode is not so special. But here, starting with a semitone, so what you could do, for example, is hold E, and from E minor, let's go, instead of moving from E to F, let's go from E minor 7 to F. It's really nice. And then you can add this little Chick Corea. And then you could go to E minor and maybe again to the F and end it this way on the sus4. So right now I just play, instead of E minor to F, or let's try actually to D minor. Let's try to A minor. So E minor 7 to F, again to E minor, to D minor, and to A minor, and like that. When you're holding the bass, I believe you are highlighting the dissonant between 1 and 2, that semitone. So by the way, I learned ending musical pieces with the sus chord from Chick Corea, definitely. Let's have some. That's another one. So you start with the sus4, then you just move with the bass. Let's try another one. Let's try holding this. That's also nice. We don't need that. Yeah. Tchaikovsky Arabian, I don't know. Did that sound like Tchaikovsky's Arabian Dance, which I don't know or don't remember? Okay, another question. Hello, can you explain how to play G minor 13 with upper structure, please? Okay, G minor 13. Let's see. So 1, 7. No. Let's see. 13 is going to be E. Okay, like that. So I would go like if that's too hard. So let's see. I'm not gonna add the B flat here because I want to maintain the brightness of the structure on top. So I could go maybe like that. Maybe if that's too hard, you could maybe do it this way. By the way, this is G minor 13. Let's see. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Let's move to B. But with B. And let's move now to B flat. Yeah. this sounds pretty cool. And then you could play this, and you can hold the pedal and play the bass. You're welcome. Okay, about yeah, that was Lyle Mays. Lyle Mays inspired for sure. Okay, so what are some of your favorite slash chords in your bank? Beside putting 1, 3, and 5 in the bass, I really love the 2 or 9. Okay, slash chords. Okay, so obviously, so this is 5 to 1 in G major. So this is the 5. So I like playing, you know what? People call it C major slash D. I usually like to refer to it as D7, 9, and 4. 7 sus4. But you can call it, if you want, no problem calling it C over D. Another one that I like is this is from Chick Corea. This is from 3 Quartets by Chick Corea. Fantastic album. Okay, so we have D minor, E over D, E flat to D, and then from D he's going to D flat. No, yeah, D flat over D. So when you're playing this is a very scary chord. But what actually it is this is a D diminished 7th chord. So what we are doing here, we are going to the neighbor, just a melodic thing. Okay, and what musicians like to do with those neighbor tones. Neighbor tone is when you just moving to the next note on the scale. People use that to decorate. We use it all the time. Or but it can also be chromatic. This is a neighbor tone, but he's starting from the neighbor. So anyways, when you're playing this is the diminished, and you're moving up. So this is a great chord, actually, if you're playing B diminished stuff. Even though I'm not doing the motion to the home to the diminished, I'm staying on the neighbor, keeping that tension, but I could still play against it. This chord is fine when you play against its diminished stuff, the D diminished. You know, the problem with I'm not against using the term slash chords, but the thing is, it's always much better to know the harmonic context. So if you know this is basically coming from being a neighbor, then, oh, so that's a diminished, and now you can play a B diminished scale. Whereas if you just know this chord by chord, okay, it's a D flat over E, what am I going to do? Okay, maybe I'm going to improvise some D flat stuff over it. It's not bad, but I believe that knowing the diminished context is much more interesting.